Welcome back. It's Wealth and Wellness Wednesdays, and you are tuned into the
Turn Up. Yeah, well, my intro is killing every time. This is Barbara Mack.
And this is Roots.
And today we are joined with Jeana from GypsyRoot. And
Woo-hoo. Hey,
into,
Jeana. Hey,
yes,
Boo.
if y'all remember her from two seasons ago, she's back, new and improved as always. But before we get to that, let's start with
This Week in the Garden.
yes. What are we doing this week?
So this week in the garden, we're still cleaning up. It is our intro to fall. So we need to make sure that our garden is ready for all of our fall crops. And if you guys don't remember, our fall crops are the leafy greens. And so we also do succession planting.
Yeah.
And so what that means is you want to successionally, that's not a word, I don't think. Okay.
That was something I would say.
So what we do is we plant things after each other so that the soil stays nutrient rich. And so we still have tomatoes out. We still have peppers out. We pulled our cucumbers already. And so to keep that soil nutrient rich, because those are plants that actually deplete the soil a lot, we have to then go in and plant the leafy greens to put the nutrients back in the soil.
Yeah. And what I've also been doing at the end of each week, I've been taking all that chicken poop and spread it
I didn't
down the
know
lines.
that.
I know. I'll be doing things.
I never thought he actually did anything.
Yeah, wow. It's not a common thing in my life. But no, yeah, so I do that in the mornings and stuff. So I rake it because I don't want them just running around eating it all the time too.
They'll eat it?
They'll eat anything. They'll eat anything. So what I use that as fertilizer. So everything that you cleaned up on Sunday, I went and threw it out there on that. So.
Well, thank you for remembering that.
Yeah, man, teamwork make the dream work.
Yeah, for those of you who are wondering why he's throwing chicken poop in the garden, it is a great fertilizer. So any kind of animal poop,
yeah,
it's good fertilizer to help the nutrients in the soil. So
why do you do animal? Why do you do like this? so you gonna say it's human?
Animal poop.
Yeah. So
yeah, what else are we up to?
We had the kids come through again last week. That was phenomenal. Like I said, we don't spray to kill the weeds. So what we had the kids do, I took the lawnmower first, cut down the grass as low as it could go, and we had about 15 kids, and we broke them up into 3 groups. I had a group go dig and put in the wheelbarrows wood chips and soil, and I had one group to till the land, and then the other group was tearing up the cardboard.
Yeah.
So the beginning for the grapefruits, we put down newspaper to kill out all the weeds and the grass growing through, but they tore through that. So we found out that using cardboard is the best. So what we do is till the soil up, pull all the weeds, we put down the cardboard, and then we cover it with about 1 inch of wood chips. So we did that with the kids. They really enjoyed it. We also taught, we're teaching them business and math and geometry and biology all at the same time.
You know geometry?
Yeah, man, isosceles, obtuse. So yeah, and I would tell them, I was like, hey, if this is a math problem, anybody gets it right, $10 right on the spot. So, but that was great. So what we're gonna do with the kids this week, now they're gonna have their own. It's been 3 weeks, and they had their. We planted the kale.
They did?
Yeah, and there was another contest. So whoever could bring back their kale still alive with leaves growing in a little small, makeshift. What is it called?
It's what we call a starter pot.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, but what is that? Greenhouse. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Small little greenhouse.
Yeah,
That's what I was
the
saying.
mini greenhouse.
Yeah, so if they come back, it's another $10 for everyone that brings back a plant that's still alive. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna till that lot in the front, and we're gonna show them. They're gonna create 3 raised beds. They're gonna put the soil, everything that they learned last week, they're gonna put together, and then they're gonna start planting those, and then they're gonna start tending to that. So they won't be coming back every week now.
Okay.
But yeah.
So that is part of the cleanup. Farmer Mac was saying we put down cardboard and then we put mulch or wood chips on top of that, and that also puts the nutrients back in the soil. So cardboard and paper are awesome for that.
And that was one of the things that we teaching the kids is using things in the environment. So with that first part of the pandemic, with everybody ordering things from home, we had abundance of Amazon boxes
Well, I
and
did
everything.
anyway.
Yeah, every day. But we would go around in the neighborhood. So we try to teach the kids how to use everything from, like I said, from composting, from the cardboard, understand what is biodegradable. So I think the kids are enjoying it. They're enjoying it. Even their parents. The only thing is they just come from right after school, so they be having Air Force Ones and J's on, and their parents be so mad they be dirty, but the kids do not care. So like I said, it's all about the kids and the learning aspect of it. So yeah.
So that's what we're up to this week in the garden. But this week on the podcast, we already introduced Miss Jeana Brown.
Hey everybody.
So we get to learn all about her. She's back. Again, she was with us during our first season, and so much has changed. So we definitely wanted to bring her back to kind of dive further into what she's up to, you know, how that relates to her way to stay rooted, because you guys know in grapefruits, that's all we do is try to stay rooted. So let's get into it.
Singing that.
I always like to sing when I talk. It's fun.
All right.
Rooted. So I guess first tell us a little bit about yourself, Jeana.
Reintroduce yourself.
What is it?
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Jeana.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, Jeana Brown, owner of GypsyRoot, former attorney, turned herbalist, turned business owner. So it's been quite a journey. I feel like I am finally on the path that I'm supposed to be on, so it feels quite good. And I'm still sort of getting acclimated to this new space. It's still, I feel like it's still a new me that even I am sort of like learning about.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's an amazing place to be.
Yeah. So just for you, those of you guys who don't know, our motto here at Grapefruits is eat, grow, eat, sustain. I can't remember right. It's grow, eat, sustain. So we grow organic, local food. So that people can eat healthy, so they can be well, and also we sustain the community and the environment. And when we talk about sustaining the community, it's all about making sure we have a platform for other entrepreneurs to be able to showcase what they're up to, especially when they're in the natural and wellness space. So a few questions we have for Jeana, because we'd like to know, like, what are you up to in regards to health and wellness and gardening and that, because that's what we're up to. And so the first question I have for you is, what do you consider your definition of health, or, you know, what does that mean to you?
For me, wellness is about balance. And I think earlier on in the journey, I would like look up all these gurus, and this person says this about that. I need to, rise at dawn, watch the sunset, drink lemon water. I need to meditate for 30 minutes. I need to do yoga for an hour, and then I was just like struggling to figure out my lane, because I was actually just sort of taking other people's ideas of what wellness meant to them. And I think when you're new on this journey, you feel like you have to have this very kind of strict regimen, this very disciplined regimen, because that's what the gurus do, right?
Yeah.
And so I just recently, actually, maybe, the top of this year, learned to trust my own intuition. Mm-hmm. And so there's seasons when I get up really early with the sun, and I do sun salutations, and I make tea, and I meditate, and there's seasons where I just need more sleep. And so I give myself off the hook. So I just trust myself to know what's going to work for me. And I understand that what works for me in this season might look different in the next. And so I think it's okay to consult the gurus, but never outsource your intuition or your own thinking, because then you disempower yourself and you don't learn to trust yourself, because you're the god of you. You're the guru of you. No one can tell you what's going to work for you.
Yeah.
No. Let's not skip over the fact, what you said in the beginning, that you were a practicing attorney. You did your education at Yale. Mm-hmm. And so that cannot be overlooked, because that is a hell of a journey and a hell of a jump to do all of that. You have all the credentials, you do everything that you do. So what was the turning point where you were like, this is not me? And did you do that for you in the beginning? Was that your passion in the beginning? Or was it something like, well, this is what I said it would do. I want to make money, X, Y, Z. Take people back, because there's a lot of people that are listening that heard it, but I don't think they heard it right. And even though the people that know you, they remember you, and then now they see you, and they wish they could be as happy and glowing as you. So I don't want to skip that over and have these people like that. So
no, that's a good question. And it's one that I continue to sort of ponder about. I think when you grow up poor and Black, I think the decisions that you make about your occupation are by necessity functional. So I was like, okay, how to not be poor? Gotta be Black, right? Like that's not going to change. And I wouldn't want that to change anyway. But I just think that it was a very functional, practical decision. And I still did a lot of good things, and it was a very empowering experience, but it was not a fulfilling one. And so it just got to the point where it's like the pain of remaining the same or the pain of growing, and you just have to make that leap into the unknown. And it just got to the point where I was just like, okay, I don't know that I can sustain this existence because I don't know that it feels true to who I am. I didn't know who I was though. That was that jump, because I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel good. And to be honest, it never felt good. But because I had this practicality, like this is what people do. You go to college, you get an education, you perhaps get a graduate degree, you know, help your family if you can. And then you're sucked dry. There's nothing there. So then I started the process of figuring out, okay, I know what I don't want. Let me explore so I can figure out what I do want, what kind of life I want to build, actually what kind of life I want to design, and not find myself in default mode. So that's kind of like how I got to that point.
Yeah, so to piggyback on that, like Farmer Mac was saying, you've gone from being a lawyer to now, you know, being an herbalist and then a business owner yourself. Tell us what are some of the things that you would want people to know about what it is you specifically do that they don't know?
Yes. I think at the base of all of it is passion. And I think it's really important to me because prior to giving this a go, prior to, you know, creating GypsyRoot, there was a lack of passion. And I didn't even know that I was existing in that world until I actually saw. I was like, I wake up I'm up till 3 a.m. researching botanical oils. Like I wasn't up till 3 a.m. reading like legal documents like that. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is how it feels to be in flow, to be creative, to be excited about your life. And so for me, that's one of the distinctions, and it lets me know that I am in full, complete alignment with the journey. Of course, I don't know what's coming next. You know, sometimes I don't even know what the next week looks like, but I feel good.
Did you feel that not staying up till 3 a.m. causes the crime here in Atlanta?
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
What kind of segue was that?
Oh, I'm just asking. I was like, if you don't practice.
Well, wait, but I do have a question. So,
you weren't ready for that one. Oh, I'm a gotcha journalist. No. Go ahead.
So now, you keep mentioning GypsyRoot.
Oh,
So
yes.
tell us what that is.
Yes. My baby. So GypsyRoot is a labor of love. I make herbal remedies and all natural skincare, and it's a labor of love. Right now I'm focusing a lot on the skincare since that seems to be what people are really, really wanting. I work primarily with tallow, which is rendered beef fat, which is an amazing, amazing moisturizer for the skin. It's super nutrient dense. Tallow's fat profile meets our sebum in our skin. It's actually just exactly the same.
Is it our sebum?
Sebum, yes.
Oh.
So that's the oily, waxy substance that comes from our skin. It's 55% saturated fat, as is tallow. So our body immediately recognizes it and fully absorbs it. And it has vitamins out of the wazoo, and it's very protective, it's anti-aging. It gives me my glow.
Yeah, y'all see this face? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Yes.
This is before.
Yeah, we're working on Farmer Mac. We're working on Farmer Mac. But I think we got Sasha on board.
Yes, I'm on board.
Yes.
Yes. So, in that, also, tell us what keeps you rooted.
Good question. So for me, you know, because life is going to come at you fast and strong. Sometimes you're going to need to rely on tools to kind of get you where you need to go. So things are great when you're in rhythm, you're in sync, things are going your way, and then there's a hiccup. You get a bad week, or, you know, you expected to have this sale, or, you know, one of your relationships is a little off, your mother's acting crazy, something. But you know, you have your tools. So for me, my tools keep me grounded. So even when, you know, I got a wrench, there's a thorn in my side, I know that I can, like, okay, let me do some extra yoga this week. Or let me call this friend that I know I can talk to about this thing. Because you know, you got friends you can talk to about work, and then there are friends you can talk to about some of your emotional stuff, family stuff. And so you know who you can go to for what. And then there's, you know, just taking a walk, just like getting your feet in the grass and the ground and rooting literally in the earth. Sometimes it's making yourself a really nice home cooked meal or cooking for someone. I actually just befriended one of my neighbors who's in her 80s, and like we hang out like once a week now. The conversations are crazy. Like, I can't even talk about it on the podcast. But like just being open to new experiences and new friendships, because like this is not like, you know what I mean? This is not, I don't have any other 80-year-old friends.
Yeah.
So
on Farmer Mac.
Wow, that hurts.
That's why your skin looks like that.
You know it's not. I thought I was glowing, but apparently I'm not glowing or whatever. It's right. Anyway, so where and when did you find your tools? So because you're a lot of things you're saying is like matter of fact, but if I'm listening like everybody else is listening. She keeps saying tools. So did you come with those tools? Did you find those tools, or are those tools serve you for a while and then
those
you move on?
Tools are hard earned. So when you're doing something that you don't enjoy and you're living a life that is hard and feels hard, you know, hopefully you do some self-inquiry, you know, and I did a lot of self-inquiry, you know, therapy, good friends, just did a lot of healing work, and then you develop tools over time. So yoga became an ally. I went to Bali and did a yoga teacher training there. And so now it's like one of my major tools. And of course, a part of that is meditation. So all sorts of different types of pranayama, which is, you know, Sanskrit for meditation, for breath work. So there's breath work, there's meditation, there's the physical practice of yoga, all of that. But you know, it came in the storm. Like, I feel like you get these tools by going through the muck. I mean, you could be one of those people who are like, you know, always levitating and feeling good and have everything figured out. But for me personally, I had to figure those tools out because I really, really needed them.
Now, do you outgrow these tools, and how do you incorporate these? I mean, into different products? Right now, you only talked about the facial product, but you have many more products that you have out there.
Yes.
And then do you are those tools infused into the way that you create?
That's a really good question, Michael. I'm impressed.
I told you I'm a different type of journalist. I mean, I'm trying to tell you, everybody thinks I'm just a model. I'm different.
8-year-old model. Yes. You're cutting edge.
You know what I'm saying? Before my time.
Yes. Like I said, my work with GypsyRoot is a labor of love. So like, actually when I'm like making elderberry, I'm chanting over the syrup. Like I am breathing life and love and prayers over my work. Because it's really not just about making money. I know how to make money. I've done that. This is something else, and I'm treating it as something else. And all of my products are infused with, you know, my heart. This is a labor of love, literally. Yes.
Okay. So expand. So you said the elderberry. What else?
Yes. So I have elderberry. We offer elderberry, which is a wonderful cold and flu remedy. And
okay, about that, I know people started doing that during the first part of the pandemic, but I also heard that you don't want to take it in the summer time. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
You can take it whenever you want.
Okay.
It's really a berry. It's like most of this stuff. It's like food. It's food. Like it's a berry. There's ginger in there. There's clove. There's honey. Like it can't hurt you. You could take it every day.
Okay.
It's very safe.
Now, talk about your fire cider though.
Fire cider.
That is my favorite. Yeah. I've seen that to people, and they've actually used it as seasoning too. Talk about that.
The fire cider, it's also another immune boosting remedy. So, you know, if you're not interested in something kind of like syrupy and sweet, you can go for the cider, which is like really, it's fiery. It's vinegar, there's cayenne pepper, there's garlic, raw garlic and onion. It's really punchy, and it supports the immune system in a different kind of way. And you can use it as a salad dressing. You can take it straight to the head. The elderberry, my friend actually uses it as a liqueur in her champagne.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. So you can get really jiggy with it. And
I'm gonna try that.
and the other product, the other ingestible I have is golden milk, which is
Yeah.
Is that that's the one I put in my coffee and stuff like that? Yeah. Okay.
So
what's the health benefit of that?
So golden milk is an Ayurvedic remedy, which is
What does that mean?
Yes.
so that's sort of like
I'm sorry to go back, man. It's back and forth.
so it's like
Go ahead.
it's like the sort of like the medical system from India. So it's ancient. This remedy has been around for thousands of years. So it's turmeric based. And turmeric, as everyone knows, is wonderful. It's anti-inflammatory. We put black pepper in there because that helps to potentiate, I think I said that right, the turmeric. And then we have all sorts of other warming spices like ginger and what is the other one? Ginger and cinnamon. And it's in some raw honey, raw organic honey, and it's super tasty. I have a really good customer that buys 3 at a time. And I had to tell her, like, okay, that's a lot of, like, how much are you taking
What are you
it?
doing?
But you can put it on toast. Like, it's really, you can get really, creative with all of these remedies.
What's the other one that you got in the dropper? What is that?
That was a special, just for you.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just wanted to make
It was
sure
a
you
special.
anti-age, 'cause
It was a special elixir, just for Malcolm.
But that leads to my other question. Do you do special one-offs, or is everything that we see on the website, is that your offering? Do you do ad hoc? Do you do specialized?
There's going to be an expansion coming.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Breaking news.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
She's going to add something.
On the Turnip.
So on the skincare side, I have an argan balm. So argan oil is a Moroccan-based oil. It's really good for dry, mature skin. A lot of my customers are in that space and wanting more options. My original formula is olive oil based, which is super nourishing and protective, but not everybody wants to put olive oil on their face. So that is coming soon, and then I'm gonna the next round is botanical oils, potent deluxe botanical oils, body oils. So I'm excited about that.
So one thing you said though that resonated with me was about using your tools and finding the tools in the storm. I just want to go back to that. It kind of reminds me of what we do out in the garden, right? Like, so when we plant seeds grow in this dark place, right? And so they have to come through the soil, this dark place. It's wet and kind of creepy to find their way out through the light and then grow and flourish like you have. So it just reminds me, all stuff works together and comes back to how all that works. So tell us where we can find you.
Yes, you can find me at GypsyRoot.com. That's GYPSY.
Jesus. But speak up. Why are you starting to whisper?
Sorry, okay.
This is spelling bee.
Because I was a little
www.
No, I have PTSD because I lost the spelling bee in 4th grade because I forgot to be an abbreviation. So there's some trauma there. So
tell me you were trying to abbreviate.
That's what it
It was.
GypsyRoot.com, just how it sounds, because clearly I don't know how to spell it.
It's GypsyRoot.com.
She's showing off.
Yes,
she
showing
wants to
off.
spell
You
it.
just want to spelling bee in 4th grade. Stunt. Cat.
Thank you, Tasha.
You're welcome.
All right. And you can order online, and you deliver the 48 contiguous overseas, or
not overseas, domestic.
Okay.
If you have any questions about tallow, any of the skincare line, any of the herbal remedies, just drop me a line at contact@GypsyRoot. I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well, so contact me there under GypsyRoot.
Yep. And sooner than later, the things that you do use for all your stuff, we're going to start growing here. We're going to get that land.
Love that.
And this is, like I said, it's going to be a whole turnkey. with that. Partnerships.
Medicinal herb garden.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. So,
here for it.
yes.
So to round us out this evening, we are going to do our new segment where we address questions Farmer Mac, what is it called?
It's called Getting to the Root of Things.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's, like I said, we do have the chat.
The live chat, so you guys can ask us questions as we're on air. You can also see us on video. So ask us live questions. We will answer them in a moment. And we'll come back the next episode to make sure if you missed it, you get your questions answered. So we had a few.
Yes, I'll bring because I couldn't remember all of them. The first one.
How to kill fire ants in the garden.
Well, we'll do it that one. Yeah, that was like I said. Don't forget, like I said, we can live chat 8:30 Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday on TLSCRadio.com or download the TLSC Radio, the Lounge Soul Cafe app. You can download that and you can download the chat and sign up and ask us questions, and then following week we will answer them. We'll answer them live, but then we'll also bring them back to the segment, getting to the root of things. So one of the chat questions last week was about ants in the garden.
Yeah, so to get rid of your fire ants in the garden, it's really basic. You can use your household items for that. So all you need is some dish detergent and some water, and you'll put it in a spray bottle, make a little 50% solution, and you'll spray the ant beds. You can also use vinegar instead of water, and they both work just fine. So that's question number 1. Question number 2.
Question number 2, they were asking about what you had mentioned about the eggs. And you said that there was no different in nutritional value between the white egg, black egg, brown eggs, and everything. So people really want to know, were you just talking, and that's true because they go to the store and you explained about organic and free range and everything. So it's like, why is the brown eggs at the store more expensive? And what's the reasoning?
Well, Farmer Mac did some research, y'all. And the reason your brown eggs are more expensive, even though the nutritional quality of them is the same, is the chickens that lay the brown eggs are bigger. So they actually require more feed.
Yes, and we feed good in, good out, bad in, bad out. So
just like your body.
Yeah, just like your body. Our hens are getting bigger, and we feed them. And I've read in the research that the more they can free range, the more that encourages, especially in the beginning, to lay eggs. And as we see the eggs, as they're getting older, the eggs are getting bigger. But I feed them an organic chicken feed. I also, to strengthen their shells, I also use clam shells. So you can buy, like I said, all this at feed stores. So I mix it clam shells, dried worms, and some eggshells. There. So
so they eat their own eggshells?
They eat their own eggshells. Yeah.
There's no moral.
No, they don't know who did that. They all friends. So.
Oh, I know you.
Yeah.
I let you.
Yeah, it's like man, just like that. But but it's good for them. I try to put them in a pan, but I like I said earlier about getting the chicken poop or whatever. Try to clean and keep the pen clean because they'll, like I said, they'll knock over the food. I try to nice little plate and they just want to throw. I just throw it on the ground now. So, but then they'll poop because they'll poop in the plate and stuff. Have to eat around it and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
they're animals though. They're animals. So, but yeah, so that it is. Like I said, what we spend on the food is more expensive. That's why I like them free roam, especially after it rains, because they'll get all the worms and stuff. But we don't want too much worms because the worms aerate in the soil and stuff like that. So yeah. So that. Do we have? I think there was one more question.
Do you have time for another question?
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so. But we do have a PSA.
We do have a PSA. We'll do that one before we go. What is it? What we got?
Like we said, check out the new live chat and the new features they have on TLSC Radio,
which is seeing us on video.
.com. Yeah, and we do audio comments about the different shows and shout outs. So like I said, but you want to learn more about TLSC music and podcast schedules, go to TLSCRadio.com/shows. And you can see this show and all the other fantastic shows that the Lounge Soul Cafe has out there. Like I said last week, we got a lot of phenomenal new shows and the shows from the past. Everybody is stepping up their game. Everybody's just, trying to put their best foot forward like we did, like I said, doing this audio. So they can be found on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. TLSC Radio.
And make sure you follow us on our platforms. We're on Instagram and Twitter at GrapefRoots Inc. You can follow us or check us out on our website at www.graperoots.org. And you can catch us here every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. And if you missed us, you can always catch us by clicking on our fan page on www.tlscradio.com and click our video.
With that, we want to thank Jeana again from GypsyRoot. Make sure GypsyRoot.com. Solicit, get some of the great stuff. Going into cold season and we're still in the pandemic, so get your body right.
Be safe, y'all.
All right.
See you next week.